One of the things I use a hoop house for is starting my seedlings and for getting early crops, early season crops. So I get a really good head start on the season with my hoop house. And here's an example of some of the things I've started in there. Right here we got lettuce, and here we got different kinds. This is a butter crunch lettuce here, and also over here we got radishes growing here, roll of radishes. Here we got some romaine lettuce and another variety of butter crunch lettuce. Here I got some spinach growing, and then another row of radishes. Here I got some coriander just sprouting. I got a bean plant there, and some more bean plants here, and some more radishes, a row of them growing there. And right over here I've grown, I got carrots coming up out of the ground, different kinds of carrots. Got a couple of varieties there. You can see it all sprouting. It's sprouting just like grass. Right over here I got some tomatoes, and I got different varieties of tomatoes growing here as well. One of the things that's great about a hoop house is I use it for sprouting all my seeds, and I find the microclimate in a hoop house to be far better for sprouting seed than what you find inside your house. I find the house, trying to sprout seeds inside my house, is where the air is a lot drier. It doesn't work as well. Here the air is very moist, it stays warm in the daytime, and even on cold days it stays fairly warm inside this shelter. Right over here I got some beets just starting to sprout up, and I even got edamame, which is a warm season type of bean, and it's sprouting in here, and we're right at the start of the season here. It's been very cold lately. Okay, here we are, April 28th, and I just thought I'd show the progression of the plants in the hoop house. There's my carrots. They now have their secondary leaves. They're starting to look more like carrots, and they're about 2 inches high. My tomatoes are coming along. I've thinned them out, and eventually I'll weed them out down to just one plant, keeping the strongest. There's 2 zucchinis growing there. I'm going to take out the one that's the smaller one. I don't know which one's going to be smaller yet. I only want 1 zucchini plant. This lettuce I just planted. I think this has been about 10 days since my last video. But anyway, this is sprouting up quite nicely. Butter crunch lettuce. Over here we got the radishes just sprouted up, row radishes, and I got some coriander planted there, and there's my one lone bean plant. I have to replant that. Normally you don't plant beans till later in the year, but you know, in a hoop house you can plant them very early and get an early crop. There's some more that are just sprouting out of the ground there. They're just coming up. And there's my edamame, another plant that you normally don't grow here until June, and you're lucky if you get a crop out of it. You have to have a good warm year for it. We're a little too far north for it, but these are doing nicely. And we're really early in the season for that. And here's my beets, and I've thinned them out a little bit. They're coming along just fine. That's better. Here we are on the other side of the hoop house. And here's the lettuce that I planted early on. This is the first lettuce I planted. It's coming along. It's getting quite large. I'm going to have to keep thinning it out. I think I'll thin this down to a couple heads of lettuce eventually. And the radishes are ready for picking. We got some spinach coming up here, and it's doing quite well. And another row of radishes. These are also ready. You can see in the ground there. Nice red radishes. That one's almost perfect. And you got cilantro. It's doing quite well here. It's growing up quite nicely. In case you're wondering what this brown stuff is, this is seaweed, kelp, and I collected it out from the beach. It was washed up on the beach, all dried out, and that's when it's safe to take kelp. You got to be careful not to collect kelp with fish eggs on it. So I wait till it's totally dried out and washed up on the beach, and so there's nothing living on it. It can't be wet anywhere, even on the underside. Here's my row of beans, and I got the radishes again. I like radishes. They kind of mark where you've planted before, because they sprout up really quickly and before the other seed does, and so you can use it as a marker to figure out where you last planted. Like for example right here where this is just starting to sprout up, there's some seed planted in between those rows of radishes, and it's well marked now by the radishes sprouting up. So like I say, as you go along, you can every time you look at your garden, you should thin it out a bit and pluck the weeds out. And what I do now is I start pulling the radishes out, and that's a beauty. That way it creates more light for this spinach. So it also allows a little more light to get to the cilantro or the coriander as well. There's another radish. I think I'm going to pull that one out. Make some more space here. And probably even this one. It's a good one to pull out. And we got look at that, a tomato plant growing as a weed there. That's the great thing about hoop houses is they're superb for starting seed, and that includes compost seed. So every time you get a bit of compost in your hoop house, it starts to sprout. And that's about it.